Wayanad district in the northern part of Kerala is the only district of the state that lies fully within a plateau, part of the Greater Deccan Plateau region. Wayanad district is perhaps one of the most wettest parts of the Deccan Plateau. The forests of Wayanad district have a rich history. During the British rule, Wayanad was part of the Malabar district under the Madras Presidency, and during that time, in the Malabar region, Wayanad was the center of spice cultivation. Now let us explore some of the forests of North Wayanad, starting from the northeast. Tolpeti Range under Wayanad Wildlife Sanctuary is the northeasternmost forest in Wayanad district. To the west lies several reserve forests centered around the Brahmagiri Range, including Hilldale Reserve Forest, Tirunelli Reserve Forest, Kambamala, Trishalleri, Ondengadi, Oliot, Hariharashola, and certain vested forests near the border with Kannur district. Coming to the northwestern part of Wayanad, near the town of Periya, is the Periya Reserve Forest. This reserve forest lies close to the Kannur Reserve Forest of Kannur district. Periya Reserve Forest is the largest reserve forest in Wayanad and houses a continuous patch of semi-evergreen and evergreen rainforest. To the south of Periya Reserve Forest are some vested forests near the Banasura Sagar Dam. We will come to that later. To the center and east of Wayanad district is the Padiri Reserve Forest, and adjacent to it is the Kuruva Reserve Forest, the boundaries of which correspond to the Kuruva Dweep or Kuruva Island, an island within the Kabani River. The forests of Wayanad have a painful story of being converted to teak plantations. Among the forests of Wayanad, the one which has to say the harshest stories of survival and re-establishment would be the Ontengadi Reserve Forest, situated to the north of the Manandavadi-Katikulam Road, or the Manandavadi-Mysore Road. Ontengadi Reserve Forest, which was once a natural tract forest, was converted to a teak plantation by the Kerala Forest Department during the 1958-59 period. Teak trees and softwood trees replaced the natural forests. When the natural forests disappeared, so did the sources of water. They also disappeared. But however, due to the lack of proper care from the department, the teak and softwood trees did not grow satisfactorily. They showcased poor growth, and the natural evergreen, semi-evergreen and deciduous trees like Lagostromia microcarpa, Gruvia tilifolia, Mangifera indica, and Albizia procera grew far better than the teak trees. So the effort of the department to convert this forest to a teak plantation was a failure. However, in 2019, the department again came with a proposal to convert the natural forest back to teak plantation, but due to the pressure of the villagers and activists, the department stepped down from the move. Coming to the southeastern side of Wayanad district is the major part of the Wayanad Wildlife Sanctuary with 3 ranges. Next to Wayanad Wildlife Sanctuary to the west is several patches of vested forest. Vested forest areas in Kerala has been established since the 1970s. Vested forests, unlike reserve forests, are mostly unsurveyed, and several loopholes in the law often helps land encroachers to encroach into the forest areas, similar to what has been recently seen in many parts of Wayanad. Near Kalpata to the east is a vested forest atop a high mountain. To the southwestern part of Wayanad is the recently landslide-struck areas of Mundakai and Churilmala. Here you can see the landslide scars around the Vellarimala mountain. Around Mundakai are also vested forest areas. Among the forests of Wayanad, the one which would have the richest history would be Ladysmith Reserve Forest around Thariyod and Banasura Sagar Dam. The Mepadi and Thariyod regions of Wayanad were once really famous among the British for their gold reserves. The one company that did the most extensive of the gold mining ventures in Thyroid region was the one owned by Smith, a British citizen who unfortunately could not get as much gold as he expected. As a result, he fell into a debt trap and without any other way, he suicided. After his death, these forest areas were transferred to his wife, Lady Smith. And Lady Smith, who had no interest to keep these forests, went back to England and she transferred the ownership of the Lady Smith estate to the Madras government, who made it into the present Lady Smith Reserve Forest. So that was the history behind the establishment of the Reserve Forest. The former gold mines are now under the waters of the Banasura Sagar Dam. So these are all the forests of Wayanad district. The once green, lush, wet part of the Deccan Plateau, that is Wayanad, is now becoming drier, and the forests are also becoming drier, just like any other parts of the Deccan Plateau. These forests need special attention, and nowadays invasive weeds and trees like senna are increasingly spreading into the natural forest areas, and these need to be stopped. Other weeds like lantana and eupatorium are also threatening the natural forests. Protecting the natural forests need to be the foremost priority of the department. Thanks for watching.